हेलो भाइयों और उनके बहनों। आई होप आप सब खुश है, सेफ है। सो टुडे आई एम विथ IRC 108 1996 version, which talks about the guidelines for traffic prediction on rural highways. So basically, here I want to clear regarding what are the rural highways. It doesn't include the village roads. So some might of you think that rural means a village road, but it's not like that. The rural highways are the national highways, state highways. So some might be astonished like how this is possible. So the national highways, state highways are called as rural highways because generally the national highways passes through the rural villages. This is because the land acquisition cost for the rural highways are very less, so the cost required for the national highways can be reduced. So this is one of the reason why generally the national highways, state highways tend to pass through the villages. So that's why they are called as rural highways. So let's move to the next introduction of this. So in the introduction, as you can see, the point 1.1 totally consists of all the committees and the members of the committee which were involved in the making of this particular 108 IRC code. So we'll skip this part, we'll directly jump to the technical part of this IS code. So let's start with the point 1.2. Here they have mentioned what is the importance of calculating the traffic volume for the pavement design. So what they have said that the width of pavement is decided on the basis of traffic volume that it can efficiently accommodate. Obviously for the pavement design, the pavement width is decided as per the traffic volumes. Similarly, they have said that if the traffic volume exceeds, the pavement needs to be widened, and this also depends upon the traffic itself. The another aspect is they have also mentioned that the pavements are designed on the basis of volume of commercial traffic, and the important characteristic of traffic that is used is the number of repetitions of standard exit. When we will go through the IRC 37 or 58, then we will study about the axle repetitions in the pavement design. Similarly, the another importance of having the traffic volume is for any project. You might have seen that toll plazas have been established on the newly road. So the toll plazas concession period also depends upon the traffic projections. So these all things depends on the traffic projection. That's why the traffic projection is important. Next para they say that the present guidelines are intended for the rural section of highway, that is NHSH, but they are not used for the urban sections where the prediction is more complicated. Now try to understand this, why the urban situations are more complicated. The growth of urban cities depends on various factors. For example, if you say after 2 years suddenly a factory is established in urban areas, then definitely the growth rate of the traffic changes. That's why the prediction is more complicated in case of urban situations. So now let's move to the next point, establishing existing traffic flows. So in 2.1 they have talked about the measurement of traffic flows. So here they have said that the traffic flow or the volume is measured in terms of the number of vehicles per unit time. So basically their unit is vehicle per day or vehicles per hour. And they have also said that in common practice, to standardize the all types of vehicles into one, we use the PCUs, that is passenger car units. So it is mentioned in IRC 64 and in this code with the help of table. So we will see in the following table. This is the table in which the equivalency factors is written in the right hand column. So for each type of vehicles, fast and slow vehicles, they have given the equivalency factor. So what is the equivalency factor? Just we will try to understand. So for a car, they have said that the equivalency factor is 1. हम ऐसे समझ सकते हैं कि अगर हमें एक कार के बराबर अगर लोड चाहिए तो हमें दो मोटरसाइकिल लगेंगे. दैट्स वाई इट इज 1/2, दैट इज 0.5 इक्विवेलेंसी फैक्टर. वैसे अगर हम ध्यान देंगे तो यहाँ पे देखो आप ट्रक के लिए, तो इसका इक्विवेलेंसी फैक्टर 3 है. इसका क्या मतलब है, हम ऐसे समझ सकते हैं कि एक ट्रक का जो लोड है वो 3 कार के बराबर है. सो इन दिस वे वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द इक्विवेलेंसी फैक्टर ट्राइज टू रिप्रेजेंट. So this was about the table. So now let's move to the point 2.2. It tells about the sensor data. The daily traffic volume is denoted by the term ADT and AADT. So we'll try to understand first what is ADT. So ADT is the average daily traffic. We usually count the traffic for 3 to 7 days and we average it to the daily. So it is termed as average daily traffic. But what is annual average daily traffic? So here the traffic count are taken for all 365 days of the year and then the average is calculated. So there is a small difference between ADT and ADT, but more or less both represent the average daily traffic. So in the IRC 9 they have mentioned all the practices to be followed for the traffic census calculations, and I have made a separate video on IRC 9. You can refer to that video. So in that they have mentioned that a continuous 7-day count is taken twice a week during the peak season and the lean season, and then we have to average the both the traffic volume of peak as well as lean season. So here they also mentioned that if it is not possible to measure the traffic for the whole year, then we will determine the traffic volume for a particular month and then multiply it by seasonal correction factors for the each and every particular month. So they have mentioned that the seasonal correction factors will have to be arrived for the particular location on the basis of round the year traffic census. तो इसका मतलब क्या है, अब हम जानेंगे कि मान लीजिए कि आपने सर्वे किया है अगस्त मंथ में, ओके, तो आपने अगस्त मंथ में सर्वे किया है, तो इसमें जो भी वैल्यू आई, सपोज एक्स वैल्यू आई, ये है टोटल ट्रैफिक काउंट इन अगस्त मंथ, ओके। तो किसी ने समझो पहले टोटल ईयर का सर्वे किया है जिसमें जनवरी फरवरी टोटल दिसंबर तक के सीजनल फैक्टर्स उन्होंने काउंट किए हैं, तो उस फैक्टर से हम इस एक्स को मल्टीप्लाई करके पर्टिकुलरली मंथ वाइज ट्रैफिक काउंट निकाल सकते हैं. सो दिस वाज अबाउट द seasonal correction factors. Now next we will move to the next the traffic flows at the intersection. So in 3.1 they are talked about the unit of measurement. So the traffic flows at the intersection generally expressed in terms of PCUs per hour, obviously, and they have mentioned that PCUs should be given in IRC special publication 41, which talks about the guidelines for design at grade intersection in rural and urban areas. So let's move to the next point, 3.2. So the 3.2 talks about the directional sensors for the intersection. If suppose this is the intersection, so the traffic moving to each arm has to be separately counted. So this is what this point says. Now let's move to the next point, estimation of traffic growth. So in 4.1 they have given several factors on which the estimation can be done. So the first is economic and next is demographic. In economic we have GNP or GDP, agricultural output, industrial output, and in demographic we have population and urban rural mixed population. So here they have mentioned that economic indicators vary across the country. So as per the location we have to calculate the separate traffic projections for the respective locations. So now let's move to the next point, which is 4.2, talks about the determination of past trend. So here they have mentioned the three ways in which the past trends of the traffic can be determined. The first one is the traffic flow sensors. The second one is the vehicle registration, that means new vehicles that have been registered in several past years, and third one is the fuel cells. Here they have mentioned a very important thing, that for establishing any trend, minimum data for the past 5 years has to be there with us. So here they have mentioned an equation which they have obtained through the regression analysis. So they have converted here that equation into the linear regression by using the log. So here one example is given so as to calculate the growth rate. So we will discuss the example quickly. So here they have given the year and the respective traffic PCUs per day. We have to calculate the growth rate, that is the R value. So we have to calculate the R value, and now let's move to solve the above problem. So they have written the number of years as per the given in question, the N values, that is the years, the P value, that is the traffic, and in the last column they have calculated the log P to the base E, which is the Y value. Okay, so they have used the regression analysis to obtain the fit curve, and they have calculated the R value. So here this is the equation that they have obtained after doing the regression using the computer, and this is the R value, that 10.1% is the growth factor for the problem that they have mentioned above. So that was a very easy problem. If you didn't understand anything, you can comment in the section, or you can refer to any of the videos on the YouTube. Numerous videos can clarify your doubt regarding this simple question. So now let's talk about the next point, 4.3, which talks about the extrapolation from the past trends. So here they have mentioned that whatever the R value, whatever the rate of growth of the traffic that we have got for the current year, will not be same for the few years. So see what they have written. The R values for the short term projects, for example 5 to 10 years, okay, we can assume that the growth rate is same. For the long term, it would be erroneous to assume that the past growth rate will prevail for the long time in future. So what they have said, that whatever the R value that we have obtained, we cannot carry forward for the longer period of time. And this is because the economic conditions are bound to change over a long period. No one can predict exactly about the future for a very long period. So that's why they have said that the R value should not be directly used for the longer period. The subjective assessment should be done for that particular location. Now let's move to the next point, 4.4, which talks about the econometric model. So in this, they have used the GNP, the gross national product, as the indicator on basis of which we will try to find the growth rate. So this is the equation that they have given. So this is called as the econometric equation for the traffic projection. So they have mentioned the terms in the equation. P is the traffic volume and GNP is the gross national project, and A0 and A1 are the regression constant and coefficient respectively. So here they have said that the A1 can be also called as elasticity constant and all these things. So now we'll try to see one example so that all the things in the econometric models will be very clear to us. So let's move to the example. So this is the question that is given in the IS code itself. So what they have said, that the GDP is expected to grow at the rate of 5% during this year, 6% during this year, and we have to calculate the growth rate of traffic for these 2 years. Okay, now let's move to the solution part of this example. So in the question, what they have given is the year, the PCUs and the GDP at the particular year. So now they have done the solution. So in the first column, they have mentioned the year. In the next column, this is the traffic. So this is the error that the code consists of. So this column and this column, these both are separate, but it should be the same. So here the 10,000 is there. So here also in question they should have written the 10,000. So I will tell you what is the correct thing. Let's assume that this is the column that is given in the question. So this column is not there. This column and this column both are now same. Okay. So now we have year, we have the traffic that is obtained from this column itself, and now we are taking the natural log of this and we are writing here. Similarly, this is the GDP, and now we are taking the natural log of this. So here, by using this value and this value, we are doing the regression analysis, and the regression analysis will give the this output. So once we have got the equation, so this term is known as the elasticity coefficient. So the elasticity coefficient that was represented by A1 should be multiplied with the growth rate of GDP. Okay, the growth rate of GDP was mentioned as 5% for the year 1995 to 2005. Okay, we will be multiplying this A1, that value is 1.8976 into rate of growth of GDP for that particular year. So in the question itself they have mentioned that for this year the growth rate of GDP was 5%. So we are multiplying the A1 into 5, that comes around to 9.49. So this is the traffic growth rate for the year 1995 to 2005. Similarly, to find the traffic growth rate for year 2005 to 2015, we have to multiply the A1 into the growth rate of GDP for that particular year. And in the question itself, they have given that value as 6. So now the traffic growth rate for that year comes out to be 11.39. I hope you have understood this simple problem. Now let's move ahead. So now let's move to the next point, that is 4.5, which talks about the modifications into forecast. Modifications of forecast. Why is it necessary to modify the forecast? If suppose this is a road and we have calculated the traffic for this road is 500 PCU. Okay, but after several years a national highway has been joined to this, which crosses this road. But as we assume that 500 PCU for the whole stretch, but now due to the new facilities such as the NH that I have shown here, the traffic will get diverted. So for this particular design of this road section, now the traffic volume won't be same as 500, it should be more or less. So as for the new facilities, this new traffic volume needs to be modified. So this is what all 4.5 point needs to say. So now let's move to the next point, which is the design period. So the states construction, what it talks about, it says that the roads or any construction of road can take 5 to 10 years, and for the large project it can take up to 15 to 20 years. So the traffic projections has to be done accordingly. So sometimes it might happen that the projected volume of traffic can exceed the road capacity. Okay, for example, the road capacity is of 400, and the projected what we have got after the projection of traffic from the past trends, the value is 500. Okay, so this thing is not acceptable. At every point of time the road capacity should be higher than the amount of traffic that will pass through it. So this para states that whatever the road capacity is there, so how we are calculating it? By using the hourly maximum traffic as well as by using the peak hour factor. What is peak hour factor? Peak hour factor is the ratio of peak hour traffic to the daily traffic. So the solution for this they have given is the peak hour period should be increased, so that whatever the design capacity of the road is there, so it will be increased. So now after increasing the peak hour period, so our new traffic capacity would be 600, and now definitely our projected traffic volume can be satisfied with this capacity of road. So this is all about the IRC 108. It is very small code, but though it is very useful, it talks about all the traffic projections for the rural highways. I hope you understood everything. Whatever the numericals are there, you can go through this code and they are very easy to understand. So this is all about the IRC 108. Thank you.